Now, why I struggled with this is that most Christians, most Bible scholars acknowledge that this passage contains one of the most terrifying, if not the most terrifying statements in all of Scripture. And what I didn't want to do is use my live stream to scare people, particularly children. So I don't want to shake up or upset children unnecessarily by bringing up this very serious verse or series of verses, or scare anybody unintentionally. But I prayed about it, and I tried to listen to the Lord's voice. And within my head, there was a bit of a battle going on between, yeah, you ought to do this, and here's why, and no, you shouldn't do this, and here's why. But I think ultimately the Lord's voice prevailed in my mind. And I decided to go ahead with it. And I also noticed, this is a slight aside, on YouTube, this passage is talked about a lot. As a matter of fact, I watched a bunch of them. And frankly, I was very disappointed by what I saw, because a lot of times people use this as clickbait or as sensationalism. And I want to stay away from that like the plague. The purpose of talking about this passage is not to create clickbait or any kind of sensationalism. Rather, I think we need to come at this passage humbly, earnestly, and with deep reverence for Christ and His Word, and learn something. And so let me start off by saying this. I now know that this passage can be taught in a way that should not, will not scare sincere believers, whether you be a child or an elderly person or anybody in between. However, the warning, this verse contains a warning, is applicable to all of us. And we can all learn something from this. And it does relate to this idea of knowing Christ. So with that background, let's start into this verse carefully and sincerely and humbly.